Real estate and artwork are often forms of investment. Jill decided to purchase a farm for $90,000 from her grandmother by first saving the money and then paying cash for the full amount. Jill decided to invest three-fourths of her salary in a savings account in order to purchase the farm. In order to know how much money to deduct from her salary, she needed to convert three-fourths into a decimal and then to multiply $4,000 per month salary by that decimal. Jill first had to divide the denominator of the fraction into the numerator. She continued dividing 3 places to the right of the decimal point to reach a zero. 0.750 resulted. Jill dropped the zero and multiplied $4,000 by 0.75. $3,000 is the amount Jill will deposit in savings each month in order to purchase real estate in the future. If Jill continues to stick to her plan, she will have the full price of the farm in 30 months. Joyce just received her paycheck and is looking forward to purchasing a new coat. She knows she will give 1/10 to her church, put 1/10 in her savings account, and save 50% of the remainder for her upcoming mortgage payment. Joyce received a paycheck for $1,012 and needs to find out just how much cash she will have to purchase the coat. She has reasoned that she will have 8/10 left after her church donation and her savings deposit. 50% of the remainder, or 4/10, will be set aside for her mortgage. Therefore, 4/10 would be left for the coat purchase. To convert 4/10 into a decimal, Joyce multiplied both terms of the fraction by 10, resulting in 40 hundredths. Next, she must divide 100 into 40 and extend the division out until a zero resulted. Multiplying 0.4 times $1,012 left $404.80 to apply to the coat purchase. The Tops Company increased Leonard's salary by 1/7. Leonard wanted to convert 1/7 to a decimal, so he divided the denominator 7 into the numerator 1. Leonard found that after creating a decimal valued in the hundredths, a remainder of 2 remained. He decided to continue dividing one more place in order to round the decimal to the nearest hundredth. A remainder of 6 was left after creating the decimal .142. Since Leonard wanted a decimal rounded to the nearest hundredth, .14 resulted. The 2 was dropped since 2 was less than 5, the rule for rounding to the next highest number. Richard works 5 weeks out of 52 weeks per year to earn the amount he will eventually pay in taxes. 55 seconds converted to a decimal becomes .096, rounded to the nearest thousandths when the denominator 52 was divided into the numerator 5. Since Richard was interested in accuracy to the nearest thousandths, the division was carried out 4 decimal places. No zero remainders were reached in 4 decimal places. The number 1 resulted in the 10,000ths decimal place, so the 1 was dropped and the decimal remained .096. Three-fifths of Sue's day is spent on the drill press machine. Sue needs to change 3/5 into a decimal. She divides the 5 into the 3. She finds that the quotient is 0.6 with a remainder of 0. Since a zero remainder is reached, the division stops. In this case, the value of the decimal is determined in the tenths column. A fraction of gross sales is applied to the rent expense for the month. This month, rent accounts for 1/18th of the gross sales. Converted to a decimal, 1/18th becomes 18 divided into 1. The division is extended 5 places and the decimal is rounded to the nearest 10 thousandths. 0.0556 results. A leather jacket is discounted by 1/6 off the list price. To convert the fraction 1/6 into a decimal, 6 is divided into 1. Since a zero remainder is not encountered to the 6th decimal place, the owner of the store decides to round the decimal to the nearest hundredth. Since the decimal is 0.167 to the thousandths decimal place, the 6 is raised to a 7 and 0.17 results. Jim sold a house for $100,000. The principal broker gets 10% commission from the sale, or $10,000. Jim's portion of the commission is 1/2 the full commission. He converts 1/2 into a decimal by dividing the denominator 2 into the numerator 1. 0.5 results. To find the amount of commission, Jim multiplies 0.5 times $10,000. Jim's portion of the commission is $5,000. We can say that the principal broker splits the commission with Jim. Paul is an accountant for a major corporation and reports that profits are 1/7 of gross sales. He knows that gross sales are $467,893 and believes it would be easier to compute the total amount of gross sales using a decimal in place of a fraction. Paul agrees and divides 7 into 1. After dividing 6 places, a remainder continues to exist. Paul wants a level of accuracy to the nearest 100 thousandths, or to 5 places to the right of the decimal point. This means that all 6 places to the right of the decimal point must be considered. Paul looks at the 6th decimal place and sees that it is a 7. Since 7 is larger than a 5, the number in the 5th decimal place is raised by 1. 0.14286 results. Jim multiplies 0.14286 times the gross sales figure of $467,893. $66,843 results, rounded to the nearest dollar. %32 is lost on the sale of a discontinued item. This amounts to 32 hundredths. To convert 32 hundredths into a decimal, divide 32 by 100. A zero is encountered in the thousandths decimal place. Extending the division 3 decimal places, 0.320 results. The answer is simplified to 0.32 or 32 hundredths.